There's fire on the mountain top, see the clouds coming dark, just a was what If you got to us, one time, free moon to the yard, you know I go on, yeah. It's a fire blazing like a fountain, steady be blazing on the mount, you know what's out there. Let my chucky one side, catch me up on the mount, you know I'll be. I said me can't want it, but my home I told this one, I saw me fine fancy. I found the road I told this one, I'm finna follow what it. I know this time is for his glory.
Up and awake. Top of the morning to you guys. I hope you're fine. I'm doing good. I woke up this morning and I thought, why not share some of my mistakes that I've made and I continue to make, so that you guys wouldn't have to make them, or at least you learn 1 or 2 lessons in order to avoid them. Sometimes these mistakes we all care, not because we want them to, but only because we are human. As humans, we make mistakes. But what's the essence of making mistakes without learning from them?
There's fire on the mountain top, see the clouds coming dark, just a was what If you got to us, one time, free moon to the yard, you know I go on, yeah. It's a fire blazing like a fountain, steady be blazing on the mount, you know what's out there. Let my chucky one side.
Right. So not too long ago, I used to think more trades means more wins. That means more money. But I was totally wrong. This is to address the mistake of overtrading. Sometimes when you begin out your trading journey, you would think sitting on the sidelines means doing nothing. But that's what actually counts. So the first mistake I would like to address is overtrading. Yes, overtrading leads us to the second mistake, which is revenge trading. Sometimes I realize that after I take a trade and I incur a loss or a series of losses, quickly I think, no, I need to make my money back. So the next thing I do is I hop on trades that do not really match us or really tally with my trading plans. Let's be real, guys. This is not to say that I'm not doing any of these. Sometimes, as human as I am, I track back and overtrade and go and revenge trade. Revenge trade, I think a few weeks ago, I revenge traded. So yes, that's not to say I'm acting as a holy guy. Early on, I came to realize that I was constantly overtrading and then revenge trading. And it only meant one thing, that I was trading without a plan. And that leads to the second mistake. Most of we newbies, when we start out, we don't have any trade plans at all. And this includes our risk, our entries, our exits, and the kind of lot size we allocate to each trade that we even take. That will lead me to my next mistake, which is risk management. But let me touch briefly on this very one. Initially, what I used to do was to trade with just vibes. And if you are very well aware, the market doesn't pay those who trade with just vibes. There has to be a structure. There has to be a reason for your entries and your exits. Even the kind of lot size you allocate to it. You see, most of the times we don't even take into account our capital, the size of our capital. We just enter because everyone is entering, and that was what I usually used to do. I was in this group and usually they post their wins. People are posting their wins. I'm sitting on the sidelines and I'm thinking, why am I not posting wins? Why am I not entering trades in the first place? So yes, I had to learn the hard way that I need to trade with a plan. And you see, in this business that we are in, I learned this the very hard way. Capital is our business. If you don't have capital, you are not in business. And if you don't take care of these mistakes, they are going to cost you, and they will cost you your business, which is your capital. So it's really a tricky situation when you are trying to grow an account and you are not really well aware of your mistakes. So that's the essence of this video in the first place, to make you well aware that these are probable mistakes that you could encounter. And it's very common in this space. Most people are over trading, most people are over leveraging, most people are revenge trading, and most people are trading without a plan. And this is very common at the downside, which is where most of the beginners are. And that draws me to the next point that I want to make. The next point, which is risk management. Before every entry, okay, let me even take it far away from trading. When you are in a business or when you're about to venture into a business, you analyze the risk parameters, whether you can bear them or not. What are the pros and cons? It's the same for trading. Trading is a business. Trading is a business. If you treat this as a hobby, it's going to cost you once again. It has cost me so much, and it's going to be very dire on your account if you allow this to go by without really learning from it. You are in business when you have capital. Like I said in my previous video, capital is king. Protect your capital at all costs. Your best offense is defense. Once again, your best offense is defense. So make sure your risk management is if not top notch. There is an element of risk management in your trading business. Now on to the next mistake, which is strategy hopping from one strategy to the other. You see, what you realize from these mistakes are one leads to the other, the other leads to the other, and the other leads to the other. Imagine you are trading without any risk management. Okay, let's start from the top. First, you are over trading, you are rent trading, you are trading without a plan, you are trading without a risk management plan. And that's different from trading without a plan. You are trading without a risk management plan. It will obviously lead you to strategy hop. So what you are going to think directly is, no, maybe the problem is my strategy. It's not working. Let me look for the next shiny object out there. That will also cost you, because what the market rewards you for your consistency. So when you find a particular strategy, and mind you, every strategy works, but you as a trader need to find out how it works for you. Last time most people say trading is a personal journey. You may be in a mentorship, you may be in a group, and people may be posting wins. You might not be posting wins. It doesn't mean the strategy is wrong or there's something wrong with you. Well, there could be cases where there's something wrong with you because you're not learning from your mistakes. But largely, I've come to understand that when you hop from one strategy to the other, you don't really build on the confidence you might get from one strategy if you had remained consistent. So the main key element I want you to take away from this is stick to one strategy, be consistent with that strategy, and backtest as you can. And that's the next mistake most of we beginners do. Backtesting is boring. I'm not going to lie to you. When I started out, my cousin Wale, I mentioned him in my very first video. He told me backtesting is a must. I didn't understand what backtesting meant. First, I didn't even know how to backtest. Yes, that was another headache. I didn't even know how to backtest. I didn't understand the concept of backtesting. So it was later that I got to find out how to really backtest. And I started to backtest. It was really boring. Mind you, it was really boring. But then if you are in this and you are looking at this in the long run, you want to stay in this business for a very long time, you need to do the boring stuff that people are not willing to do, because the number of people that are not making it in this space is very huge, and most of them are not backtested. So if you want to stand out, if you want to be unique, if you want to be profitable, which is very hard in this game, you need to backtest. So I had to force myself to love the concept of backtesting, which is extremely boring again, as I say. But one thing you can add to the game of backtesting is play some music. Play the music that you love to listen to and backtest with that music. That's what I do now. Now I sit down, I listen to either Black or RDJ or any other Ghanaian musician. Then I backtest as much as I can. I go back in time, pick data from way back in time, then start to see how it plays out. You see, the more it's a repetitive concept. So the more and more you see an action play out, it becomes second nature to you. What happens is it drops or sits down into your subconscious. So now you see a pattern, you see a candlestick, you see how it looks. What your mind tells you is, we've seen this before, and at the time you saw it, that's how we acted. So that's how we have to act now. It's very basic, but it's very instrumental in your trading journey. So I would advise, I'll suggest that you backtest as much as you can. You backtest as much as you can. Sometimes when you pick sometimes when you pick one particular year, so let's say you pick 2024 to backtest, the year 2024 to backtest, you realize that if you backtest for the first time, you might see certain things that you had not seen previously. The more and more you backtest, it will be the same year. The more and more you backtest, you'll be realizing that so this was here, this was how this one reacted. And as the market goes, you realize that certain elements are repeating themselves in the current market. That's why it's very necessary for you to backtest. Yes. Okay, so now that you guys have become well aware of these mistakes, I will implore you, and should I be on my knees? Nah. I implore you to go out there and not make the same mistakes I've made, because they are going to cost you. Yes, so if any of these mistakes that I've mentioned sounds like you, don't fret over it. Okay, you're not alone. We all make the mistakes. Some are still making them. I hope those who are still making them will charge upon this video. And once again, my name is Nicholas, and this is FX Diaries. That's a channel where I document my trading journey and anything that I think will be helpful to beginners. Please, we are not alone. Comment learning in the comment section, so I know that you're a beginner and we are in this business to make it as I also want to make it. If you are new to this page, please subscribe. That's what we do here. If you are an old timer, thank you for sticking with me throughout this video. See you in the next one. Peace.